All right, so now when we are on home page, so if you remember when we are designing our page, if I go to home page, we have three different types of posts. One where we have image and text both. Then we have one more version where we don't have any text content, we just have photo image. Then we have one more version where we have just text content, no photo. So these are three different type of posts. So the rendering, the UI is going to be different for these. All right. So to handle these things, because all these right now, when we designed our UI, we just had vertical stack layout and we had borders inside that vertical stack layout. But because we are going to use collection view, because this is going to be a list of items, list of posts, we are going to use collection view. And in collection view, we can define the item template. So that item template gets applied to each and every item of that collection view. Now we somehow need to know on runtime that this particular item of this list is going to render this UI and this particular item is going to render this UI. Okay. For example, we have this auto 250 auto. This is for all. Then we have auto with text content. Then we have this auto 250 auto. This is for image only. So we have these three different kind of UIs, three different kind of controls we need to use, and that the determination of this, that which version is going to be displayed, this is going to be on the runtime on the basis of that post. So in post DTO, we need to check if it has photo, if it has text content, then render one of these three on the basis of that condition. So in .NET MAUI XAML, when we want to dynamically switch the UI inside a collection view, we have an option that is called data template selector. Okay, so we are going to use that data template selector to dynamically identify that which of these versions we need to display for this particular item of a collection view. So before that, we need to define these three different data templates. Okay, so these are going to be templates, normal, that means reusable piece of UI. So for this, we are going to use content view. So we have this controls, or maybe let's create a new folder here. I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it templates. Do we already have templates? Yes, we have. All right. So inside this templates, I'm going to define three content views: add, new item, and .NET MAUI content view XAML. And here we'll say, first one, we'll say post with image. Add. And let's create one more. Here we'll say post with no image. Post with no image. And then we are going to have one more. Sorry for my throat. This is going to be post with only image. Edit, and we have these three different versions. All right. Now let's fill the UI for these. So we'll go to our home page. From our home page, we'll grab these grids, or maybe let's grab these borders. Yeah, we'll grab these borders only. So this border, this is for all. That means post with image template. This is going to be this one. So we have post with image, post with image, right? This one. Let's paste it. We'll have it here. We need to have controls namespace. Then we need to have nothing else. So let's add the controls, XMLNS controls, and we'll have our control. Save it. Then these are going to be of type because this is going to be inside our collection view, and collection view is going to be uh, have the post. The post DTO is going to be the type. Here we'll define on this page that the data type for this is going to be post DTO. That means that comes from DTO namespace. So let's add that one as well. XMLNS DTOs. We'll say DTOs, and this is going to be post DTO. Now we need to make this dynamic. Here we are going to have user information. This will fill later. Right now let's fill. Oh no, in post DTO also we have all the information, right? Username, user photo, URL, everything. Let's fill this. So here we have border, we have image. Now this is user image. We'll say binding user photo URL. And then we have this name. So we'll say binding user name. Then we have this date. So we'll say binding posted on display. After that, we have this image. So we'll say binding photo URL. Then we are going to have this text binding content. After that, we have these like and share and subscribe buttons, not subscribe, share buttons. So we are okay with this. All right, so this is done. Now let's move to the second one, home page. We'll grab this one. So this is text only. That means post with no image. Post with no image. This one. Let's paste it. Save it. There is some errors. All right. Let's grab the DTOs and data type. Add these here. Save everything. And now these also, let's make this dynamic. Image binding user photo URL. Binding username. And then binding posted on display. Binding posted on display. Then text. So binding content. Save it. Then let's grab the third one where we have no text content, only image. Let's copy this one. Go to post with image only. Paste it. Grab the namespace and data type. These controls, DTOs and data type. Let's add these on this as well. Save everything and let's quickly make this dynamic. We'll say binding user photo URL. Then here we have username. Binding username posted on display. Binding posted on display. And then we are going to have image. Binding photo URL. Save it and we are good. These three templates, these three content views are ready. Now we'll close these basically. And now in our homepage.xaml, we will use those, but we will not directly use those. We'll use those using a data template selector. What data template selector is, I already told you, this is a way by which we can dynamically identify on some condition that which template should be rendered. So inside this template only, I'm going to create a class. So data template selector is basically a simple class. Here we can say post template selector. For data template selector, it should be a derived class from data template selector. Data template selector. All right, where we define this method. This data template selector is an abstract class We have this on select template method. It gets object item, bindable object container. We don't need to use container, but we will use this object item. So how this is going to work? It is going to pass each and every item to this on select template, and on the basis of it, it is going to give us the template. Okay. So in our case, this item is going to be of type post DTO. That is what we are using this template for. Right? We have this post DTO. We just need to determine this thing there. So let's check. So it can be used anywhere else, maybe someone using it somewhere else, but that shouldn't be happening. But because this has an object type, we need to check that we are handling it for our case only. Here we'll simply say if item is post DTO, here we can say post, then we'll do our thing. If that's not the case, we'll simply return null. So that we'll say that it should not happen for any other case. Now here we can have our condition. Here we can say if string dot is null or white space post dot photo URL. That means we have the photo URL is empty, so we will just have only text content. We have only text content. Okay. That's not the case. We have one more option, right? We can say else. That means let's say else if string dot is null or white space post dot content. Is this condition right? No need to have this else, right? So here we'll say we have the only text content, and we'll return from here directly. We need to return data template basically. And then this case, if text content is empty, that means we have only photo image. If that is also not the case, then we'll return from here. If that is also not the case, here we know we have both. Okay. So now we need to have those data templates here. So we need to return data template. How this works, we define properties here. We'll have property first data template. This would be the way we have these things with image, with no image, with only image. Okay, so here we'll say with image. Let me copy this. With no image. These names are up to you. We are just defining named properties. We are going to use these. And here we can say image only. So these three cases. Now here we have just text content. So here we will return with no image. Here we have only photo, that image only. So from here we'll return image only, and here we have both. From here we'll return with image. All right. So using this data template selector, we have these three properties now. Now, whenever we'll define this post template selector, there we will provide these things. These are actually going to be driven by the consumer. Whatever consumer sets these properties, then those are going to be returned from here. So there we will set these three things. Let me show you how. So this thing is going to be used at multiple places. So we'll use it on home page. We'll use the same thing on profile page as well. So what we'll do, we'll have this in our app.xaml on global level, we can say. Okay, so here we have this resource dictionary. Inside this only, we are going to define those. So first we'll define these three data templates. In templates, these post with image, no image, only image. So data template, we need to provide keys for this. So here we can say post with image template. We can say this. Inside this, we need to use this post with image template. So we need to add the templates namespace xmlns templates. Here we'll say post with image. Save it. And then let's make a copy of this 2 times. So here we'll say post with image, then we'll say post with no image. This should be post with no image, then post with image only. Post with image only. Save it. Now we have defined these three data template selectors. Data templates. Now we will use our data template selector. So this is how we use it. Here we'll simply have our post template selector like this. We need to define a key. X key. We can say post data template selector. Now on this we can define those properties. If you see, so with image, what we'll do, we'll simply use a static resource. Here we have these in IntelliSense. So this is with image, so we'll use post with image template. Then we have second one with no image, we'll say static resource post with no image. Then we have third one with no what was that, image only, right? Image only, we'll say static resource post with image only template. Save everything. Now we are good. We can use this post data template selector, this key, and it will make everything dynamic. Cool. Let's go back to use this. Right now we have just defined it. Now we'll go to our view model, we'll fetch the data, and then we'll make our UI dynamic by calling this post data template selector. All right.